What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? It's your girl La, and welcome to another episode of Whatever You Say podcast. If you're tuned in today, that must mean you're open minded and you're curious and you're ready to learn something new. This show is a space for open perspective, deep conversations, and for educating the race. So buckle up and let's go on this journey. It's whatever you say. It's whatever you say. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? It's your girl La. I'm super excited about today's show. Not only because I know this person, but because I admire them. I look up to them too. I'm not afraid to say that because, listen, I watched her, like I met her some years ago. Shout out to one of my mentors, Dash Hudson, who introduced us, formally introduced us. And after I met her, I was just like, wow, I'm just elated to have met her. We've done some work together. She had DJ for me. I consider her a philanthropist, a media mogul, not only a DJ. It's so much more to her. But before we get started, y'all already know what time it is. And it's time to go on the Whatever You Say podcast Facebook like page. So until I get me an assistant, you know your girl gotta do what she got to do. So I'm going on the page right now and I'm going to take the link. I'm going to press share, click on more options, copy. I'm going back to my regular Facebook page, my main Facebook page, that is. And I'm putting, we're going live. Let me see. Live. And make sure that you are sharing as well. Let's see what we have here. I'm almost done. I'm becoming a little bit better with this because y'all know when I first started, honey, I was messing up. Let's see. All right, tag my girl. All right. All right, so without further ado, why not let her into our room and let her introduce herself to y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's good, y'all? Hello, La. How are you? Wait, before I introduce myself, I'll have to send this to you. I just came across a picture of us back at the Met, like way long ago. I was digging in the crates looking for some pictures, and I came across this one. So I was like, oh my gosh, this was so long ago now. It was like a decade, right? It was like a
right. We done won some money together, girl. Hand for a grand. We did the ciphers together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy to know you. Not only to know that you a fellow cat, honey, but
yes. On top of that, right? And we're sisters. We're like soul celestial sisters too.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
I gotta do that still, right?
Yeah.
We went to the full conversation already.
It's all good. It's all good. Listen, we live and we real, so it is what it is. This is not. I try to be structured, but honey, I could go outside of it, so it's all good. Let them know who you are. Tell them about yourself.
All right, what's good, y'all? My name is DJ Sienna Chanel. If you don't already know me, I'm probably one of your favorite DJs on the low, but you ain't even know. I also do like live posting. I wrote a children's book. It's called Good Hair Day. Make sure you check that out. Yeah, I do a lot of philanthropic work as well. I'm a whole teacher out this John. Now I went back. I'm at Arts High School, so shout out to Arts High, repping over there as well. I have so much coming up. I don't know if I'm supposed to say all of that type of stuff right now, but yeah, that's all of that. I don't. Are we supposed to do the Instagram stuff now, or?
It's all right. Listen, it's whatever. Say it's your show today. Like when I do these shows, and it's your show today. It's all about you, and that's you've been on a few shows. It's been with panelists and things like that. But like I wanted to get a one-on-one with you, just so people can know more about you. When I did have the show before with other females, you was on the show, but I wanted to do a redo because I felt like I just want to continue to support you in whatever endeavors you're doing. I think that is a great book, and I wanted to shine some light on it. Also, with it being Alopecia Awareness Month, it's so much that you can teach us as a race in general. So what do you say? Let's get into the questions.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, let's go. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Thank you, Eric, for always being a constant supporter. Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing the show. So yeah, we're about to get into the questions, Eric. And if you have anything to say, just chime in like you always do. I appreciate your support for real, for real. All right, let's go. So the first question, can you share with us your personal experience with alopecia and how it impacted your life?
My personal experience with alopecia, it's been a ongoing scenario. Like I didn't really deal with alopecia until I was like right after I had my son. I guess it was induced due to the fact like maybe hormones or something, like hormonal imbalance is what I wanted to say. So for a few years it was like just small spots, like a little spot here, a little spot there. I had went to like, the beginning part, like go to the doctor, get the blood test, figure out, is it this, is it that, is it lupus? Is you really try to figure out all of these things because you don't know. They just tell you like, there's a bald spot here. And nothing was wrong. All my blood work came back okay, and then I went to a dermatologist. That's where they send you next in this process. And I did like a few cortisol shots. That's what they do in your scalp to like stimulate the hair growth. And it worked, And for a couple of years, nothing. I didn't really have anything. Then out of nowhere, I got like a little spot. And then for off and on for some years, it was like, oh, I have a spot here. Then I will have no spot. Then a little spot there. And then just to get to the climax of all of this, eventually, like why everybody knows I have alopecia, because I don't think people would have known that I had alopecia had I just had like a small spot here and there, because why would I tell people that, oh yeah, I got a small spot? You know what I mean? You just, whatever. So I eventually was doing a few different things in my hair, and I don't know if these things are what made it progress, but we could talk about that. But like back then when we met, I was wearing those long dreads, the twisty things, you know what I'm saying? All of those, the kinky twist locks and all of that crap, right? Mm-hmm. And they were beautiful, but I was dyeing my hair blonde to put into the rest of the weave. And out of nowhere, I just became allergic to the bleach.
Wow.
Like I just had like a crazy allergic reaction. Like out of nowhere, face swole up, throat started closing, all that.
Wow.
Yep. Like I had to get it out of my hair like immediately because it was like burning. Like I was like, like worse than perm. It was like, whoa, something's happening, right? So like, yeah. So I did it. I'll be honest. I did it one more time. After that, I just took a Benadryl first. I was trying to keep the style, you know what I'm saying? So I did it. I did it one more time, and I didn't really feel anything. But then I was like, yo, I should probably lay off because, you know what I'm saying? This is like I'm getting an allergic reaction from whatever this chemical is I'm putting in my hair.
Right.
So then, like, I think I dyed it like a whatever over top of it, just to get it back black, basically, or dark brown. And it was like a really, really dark, it was a midnight blue I put on it. That's when my hair, I had a really dark blue. And then I had a spot in my head, you know what I'm saying? I already had a couple spots, whatever. And then it just started growing to the point where it was like I couldn't really mask it anymore. Like you could still see like I had a small afro, but if you like put your hand in, it was like bald, like right here. So then I had did like a sewing, you know what I mean? I was trying to like do some sort of protective style. Like I don't know what to do, you know what I'm saying? So we did that. And when I took it out, like this is the part that no one wants to experience, like the real, like feels like horror movie type of scenario where like imagine your hair is braided in the beehive and like a braid comes up, like a whole braid. It's just like this is the braid from your head, right? So I had a really big spot. It was really, really big at that point. And the hair was just like, if I combed it, it was just coming out like to touch. So it was that very dramatic. Yeah, and it makes you sick to your stomach almost. Like I really had never experienced anything like that. Like I, had childbirth, broken bone, all that. I had never experienced anything that was as kind of like, it felt very, very horrific. You know what I mean? It was like,
I bet.
And so I just had to shave it. You know what I mean? I just told my cousin who was doing my hair and stuff at the time, I was like, just shave it. You know what I mean? So that was like my real journey with like alopecia, I would say. That was like my real beginning steps of like dealing with alopecia, because I had never experienced it like that before. You know what I'm saying? Even though I have been dealing with it for many years before that, it wasn't the same. And my case is still considered alopecia areata because I don't lose all of my hair, like just small spots.
Right.
Or in that case, it was a large spot. And what's so interesting is after I shaved my head, right? And I'll say this part, then I'll go back. After I shaved my head, I've never had spots that large in my head ever again. Ever again. And it's been so many years now that I've had like a low haircut, bald head, whatever.
Right.
And I've never experienced it that traumatically, like that dramatically, like ever again. I've had like, spots. I mean, I guess a little bigger, but nothing like
as extreme.
Never.
Right.
Never again. And what I wanted to double back on is like, I had it was a stressful time of my life. It really was at that point. You know what I mean? And I think that's what kind of added to it. I think like a relationship was kind of on its way out at the time. There was like turmoil with a few friends, not even like between them and I, but like their own personal turmoil.
Right. You took it on.
And I was the strong friend, like the only one that really like they were unloading everything on, you know what I'm saying? So I went through that, and I think that's what really triggered that next like major, like my pregnancy with my son was very like dramatic and traumatic. It was. Once I delivered him, that was my first bout with alopecia, like the small spot. And this next time when I was like inundated, like overwhelmed with other people's stuff, not even really mine, like my stuff too, totally.
I bet.
But it was more of other people's stuff, I think.
Right.
Really pushed it like that. And I definitely, basically all of those relationships are shed now, the friendships included in the relationship. And I've literally, like, I still deal with spots or whatever. Like, I have some hair right now, see me? But like, I still deal with spots, but never, ever, ever as traumatically and dramatically, like I said, as that experience. So, yeah, I know that was like a lot.
No, that was enough actually.
Like, for people to really understand,
right,
what you can experience, because everybody's scenario is completely different at this point.
Romaine saying that he's proud of you. And looking back at that time, because just knowing you around that time, I thought you was doing one of those like, let me just shave my hair off
and chop. I just did my big chop, right?
Yeah, like a big chop, because I've done it in my life. Like I cut my hair quite a few times in my life, and I just thought it was one of the moments, honey. And it's very important. Listening to what you said is very important for us to check up on our strong friends.
Word. You know it.
You
never know. You just never know how that will like come out, or how it will like, you know what I mean? Come out of you. You just don't know what that's gonna look like. And for me, it was that. It was like I lost. It wasn't my crown or my glory, my crown and glory, my hair all the time. And that's why I wrote the book, Good Hair Day. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point I had a terrible relationship with my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't love black hair. I didn't love it. I didn't want it. I didn't want my hair to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why I wrote the book Good Hair Day, because I wish that I had better experiences as a child with like black hair care. Like, no one really made it like sacred.
Right.
No one really made it like, you know what I mean? You have to like respect and get to know your hair and have this relationship with it. Is you. This is an extension of you. Like, you know what I mean? Or like how to properly take care of it, or how to make taking care of my hair like enjoyable. It was always like a very like tense environment to have to get your hair done, and it was like a chore because you got this stuff that can't nobody comb, and we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Is that image of hair, and then to then finally like really embrace it, I would say when I became like a young adult, up until like when I went natural at like, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was completely natural, had locks, shaved my head back in when I was a young adult, 21, 22 years old, had a shaved head. So I did the big chops and all of that stuff before too. And then I like established a real relationship with my hair, I would say like through my 20s. You know what I'm saying? And I like, yeah, really got to know like my hair, my scalp. I took better care of it. I thought, you know what I'm saying? I just had a better relationship with it. And then to like, I guess emotionally be distraught and then have me to lose something that I like didn't have a relationship with. Now I do. Now it's like gone. And I had to like rethink my whole relationship now with myself because you know what I'm saying? Even though I've had a shaved head before, I always tell people, this is what I always say is like, there's a difference between like having to be bald and choosing to be bald. Like there's two different things. Like it's a big difference. I've shaved my head a couple of times, like just because I wanted the style, because I felt or I wanted to shave my head, whatever I was going through. I've shaved my head before. I worn really short haircuts or something like that, and that's never been a problem. But it was very different, like when I had to shave my head because my hair would no longer grow correctly. Right, exactly. That's a very different energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And I see how like when you said you shaved your head, you purged you were purging relationships,
everything.
You were starting over. It was like a clean slate. Like you really at this point it's like, yeah, I've dyed my hair before, I've done these things, but I really like I shaved my head again with all the chemicals out of it, got rid of some things, and then it's like now it's a different, like now I'm moving on a different frequency. So now like my hair is growing different.
Yeah, literally, it really is. And now it's so funny. Like for so many years, I've like tried, whatever different things here and there. Oh, it's this topical thing, that topical thing, this oil, this shampoo, this massage, this whatever. All these different things they tell you to do or you can try or whatever for your hair. And, now like with this amount of hair that I am growing, which is not a lot, but this is like a lot for me right now. You know what I'm saying? So I actually feel like, what are you doing? Like I feel weird with hair on my head. So now I'm kind of used to it. It's a perfect mannequin head for me.
Period.
Seriously. I love wig. I was gonna wear my wig for this. I was like,
the orange one?
We're doing, yes, exactly.
I was popping.
I was gonna wear it, but I was like, no, let's, we're doing alopecia. Like, nah, just do it.
I love it. Check out her page. Follow her. Check out her page. Her wig is popping. Listen, with no hair or hair, she's still slaying.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm embracing at this point in my life. It's like, all right, well, if you got, if we're gonna be bald, if that's about to be like home base, if bald is home base, then okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if my hair grows, it's not even that. A bit of it is like I kind of don't even want to deal with it a little bit now. Like I'm being real. Yeah. Like, as it grows, I'm kind of like, but what are you gonna do? Like now you gotta do all this. You gotta braid it down. You gonna still braid like. I might as well
that's why I went to locks. I said I couldn't. I got tired of like so many different hairstyles that I'm just like. I hit up my friend. I was like, Gab, lock me up. Like I'm fine.
That would be the only other thing I would do if my hair was like if it grew like solid for like a while. That would be the only thing that I would do next. Like that would be it. I'm just lock it up. Right. And I want Rasta. I just want to let it go. Like maybe a little bit of form. You know what I'm saying? But not much. Yeah. Like now we just gonna go all the way like that way then.
Right.
One or the other. I feel it. I feel that.
So how did you overcome self-doubt and negative feelings that often accompanies alopecia?
Like there's still days, you know what I mean? There's literally still days, and it's been many years now that I've been dealing with alopecia or being bald or whatever. There's still days where I'm just like, you know, my face is not facing. No, I'm just like, it's just not doing what I needed to do, I feel like. And I wish I did have something to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, cover up. So there's still days where I'm like, I'll add some hair or just to miss braids or stuff like that. But truthfully, that's why I wanted to say that part first, because it is real and it's never ending. It's still things that pop up from time to time, you know. But it really was when I shed one of those relationships specifically, like the guy that I was seeing or whatever. I had all those long blonde dreads at the time or whatever, and when we were dating mostly, so he was used to like hair on me all the time. But then I had my afro and all of that, and then my hair like fell out, and I had to be bald. You know what I'm saying? And he made me feel uncomfortable. Like I wasn't like, you know, he was weird about it, so I felt weird about it. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know, you know, I know I'm like a beautiful woman or whatever, so I know obviously I can hold the bald head, so I know I looked good, but I was insecure. He was insecure, and I just really it was like I had to. That relationship was on its way out anyway. So it was like once I let that go, you know, that's what really made me take more looks at myself. I feel like that's what, like when I first shaved it off, I wore hats all the time. Like I literally only have this hat on because I was working out. Like this is just like my hat that I'm throwing on. And I need a haircut. Like I told you. So that's why. But I wore hats even with a bald head then, like just because I felt uncomfortable. Like maybe nobody else realized it, but I felt uncomfortable. So that's why I was wearing it. So like with him, you know, he wasn't really like telling me like I still was beautiful or I don't know. It was just weird. It was very weird energy between us. And then it just kind of fell off anyway. And then like the more confident I became, like he actually kind of came back around. Like as I became more confident, you know what I'm saying? Like it was very weird. I mean, I didn't allow him in my life in that same way, but I felt like as I became more like easy about it and more confident about it, it seemed like it relieved that from him or something.
That makes a lot of sense because back in the day when I shaved my hair off, I remember at one time I met a guy. He eventually became my boyfriend, but I had like a small afro, like little curly, whatever, I was doing whatever with it, honey, because it was in a almost 4C stage, right? It was just like, but I was used to having my hair shaved bald, and I had confidence in that because it was a choice because I chose my hair, right? But when I got with that person, I'm like, my hair was already short, so I wanted a clean cut, wanted to go on a date with this person. And when we went out on a date and they see me with a fresh clean cut, it made me feel very uncomfortable because I felt like ugly in that moment. At once I felt confident with having that cut. I'm feeling uncomfortable, and
isn't that weird how you could feel that like
somebody who we love. It's somebody we hold dear to us, somebody who we care about. And when you don't care about me, it's causing me not to even care about myself. So that's deep that you're saying that, because I can relate to that with shaving my hair off, and the person that was with me wasn't even giving me compliments or looking at me like I was an alien or something.
And then imagine like trying to be intimate now with this person. Like, how do you like now everything about me is like bald and naked. Like you just feel like, I don't know. It's like a whole nother vibe. And we were just in a space where it was like, oh, we love each other. We're like, so whatever. And then within the matter of that, and it's dealing with that part of your looks, it was like, it was weird. It's very weird. But once that like ended, that's what like led me on my, I guess, my own self discovery, my own self confidence type of journey, with understanding like, well, sis, this is what it is. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, even if you don't like how you look at this exact moment or today or however it is, you still gotta like step out and just, you know, exude confidence no matter what. Like you don't have a choice, you know. And I do think about other people that have experienced alopecia or hair loss or whatever it is, and I always want to like represent us well. I want y'all to see that there's beautiful people, confident people out here. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like I was hiding under a hat for a while. A lot of people still are hiding. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I have on a hat now. I wear wigs. I wear scarves. I wear turbans. All those different types of things. That's because it's style to me.
Right.
Wigs is style to me. That's
Right.
not like it's not a hiding anymore. I know
Right.
you understand the energy and the difference between
Right.
like I'm just changing up my hairstyle and my vibe, and like a person is trying to hide like whatever it is that's happening up underneath there. And that's the part. It's like you have to get to a place where you feel confident enough that you know what I'm saying, like one or the other. You just got, again, back to what we was talking about off camera, is making the decision. It's about like who is it that you know feel like the best in. And I did feel like I was hiding when I was trying to wear a wig right after I shaved it with alopecia or wear hats and stuff. I felt like I was hiding, and I just didn't want to feel that anymore. So I literally had to shed people, places, and things, emotions, like yeah, all of that.
And I want to tell you that you wear well, Queen. And I also want to say I'm proud of you and your great representation for people who just, need to exude that confidence and, just keep being you.
Boom.
Yeah, girl, I'm proud of you. I am because I didn't even know, honey, and you
Yeah, no,
masking it real well because I was just like, oh, she look good. Look at that girl.
give it all up. And it's so funny. Like I've had people say to me, like when I first shaved my head, like, oh, someone else said to them, and it was probably them having a conversation with them. You know what I mean? When it's gossip, that
Right.
means normally that it's the person that is telling you they was a part of the gossip as well. They part of the conversation.
Of course.
You know, but saying like, oh, I really like messed up my chances at DJing and stuff because I shaved my head from when it was blonde to whatever. And I'm like, that's so funny because it's like a whole nother time of my life now. It's not even, I'm not even the same you know what I mean? Like I know you feel this way, but like you feel the same. I've lived many lives. You know what I'm saying? Like in this one life, I know I've lived many lives. Like,
Right.
So it's like, I'm not even that person anymore, so that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fine. I'm over here now, and then there'll be another one of me as well. Like after this, like shortly after the next transformation is happening. So that's cool too. You know?
Period.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to someone who has recently been diagnosed with alopecia?
Um, you know, it's a lot. I'm sorry if you heard that,
It's
but
all
yeah, like it would really be like to stay. I don't want to say stay strong and all of that, but it is, you have to, because you don't, I guess, I don't know if you've never experienced this scenario. Is difficult to like explain, but just imagine, like, no one wants to lose their hair, you know what I'm saying? So it is really like a time where you can be so down, like on yourself, you know what I'm saying, or just in your life in general, that it causes depression. It causes a whole host of things just because you lose that confidence, that you, it's like a thing in your mind that's like, I shouldn't feel this way because I am not my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. But at the same time, you are, like, it comes from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you literally are. So it's a very weird interaction that you have with it. But yeah, it's just like you have to take it one day at a time type scenario. Don't force yourself to do something that you're not ready to do. Like if you still feel comfortable in scarves and hats and wigs, and that's just where you feel like you need to be right now, and only bald for yourself or for your immediate family, do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody to be like, okay, I'm just shaving on my head. This is what I'm going through. I'm out here. It doesn't happen overnight for most people. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes time to really, like, again, develop a confidence in yourself. You know what I'm saying? To realize people are gonna look at you, people are gonna stare, people are gonna ask you all type of weird, crazy questions. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get all of that, so you will have to deal with that. But at the same time, again, the more confident you become, the more likely you start to hear like, oh wow, what you said, I would have never known your experience. You look great with that. You look so beautiful like that. I wish I could wear my hair like that. Like you start to hear those things on the other end. So it's just, don't be afraid. Take your time with it. Do it in your own time. Don't let anybody force you. But sometimes you do need a push to
Right.
just like, you know what I'm saying? Jumpstart that confidence sometimes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Even if
Mhm.
it's just revealing it to one person, even if it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's just that, start there. Yeah.
And we had some comments from Eric. He was chiming in regards to what you were saying about your relationship. He said you felt his energy about your hair.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. So thank you, Eric. So like getting talking more about hair, you were speaking about your book, Good Hair Day.
And I
How
told
did
myself I was gonna bring my book next to me, and then I sat down and did not. So, but go ahead.
we'll put the Amazon link
Okay, thank you.
in the description box when
Well, I
you
gotta
go and
hold
watch this show.
it.
When you go and watch this show, if you want to grab it, you can, Queen.
Yes.
But we'll put the Amazon link also in the description box when you guys go and look at this video again on YouTube. That is so, and we'll put it in the links when you listen on Spotify and Apple. So as we wait for her to go and get the book, I just want to thank everybody for chiming in today. And as I was saying, it is Alopecia Awareness Month. And we are talking to the lovely DJ Sienna Chanel. And so we're on to the next question. How did you come up with the idea for your children's book, Good Hair Day? And what do you hope it communicates to young readers?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is Good Hair Day. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's amazing. I have to always shout out before I do any of this my illustrator, because everybody always asks me who's the illustrator, because it is a beautiful book. But shout out to Mauro LaRusi. He did this amazing work with me, and he just totally embraced everything that I kind of talked to him and told him about black hair. But so the idea came from, I'm gonna be like 100% real, like 1,000,000,000% real, right? So I was up one night, like, I don't know, one of those 3, 4 o'clock in the morning up type of things, and what's on, nothing but like infomercials and like crazy stuff or whatever. And I think I was on YouTube or whatever I was on, right, on a laptop, and something came up about writing a children's book, right? And they said that you could write a children's book in 5 minutes, and I was like, no, I can't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm watching it. So I'm like, all right, let me see what I can do. So it literally broke down all of these different like ways that you can write the book, right? Like, okay, think about this, think of a niche, think of things that you know about, think of whatever. It broke it down. I wrote the majority of this book, like 90% of it, in 5 minutes. Seriously, I really did. I wrote it in like 5 minutes. But I said like to say it's because it was a topic that I knew I could write about, if that makes any sense, and I knew that I had a close relationship with, and I was very excited, and I did that. But I sat on the book for say like 4 years. I wrote it, and then I sat on it for 4 years. I kept going back to it. Like, I know I have this like amazing book, but I don't know like what I'm gonna do with it, or if I'm ever gonna put it out. And I was like, no, you got to. And I think the pandemic really like made life flash before a lot of people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? And it sat me down enough to I said like, yo, it's ridiculous if I don't if I don't put this book out. You know what I'm saying? If I don't put this book out, this is like, what did you do with your time? What if you I'm not trying to be morbid, but if you drop dead, like what will you have left? You know what I'm saying? Like what will it be? And so during the pandemic, this is like 4 years later after I wrote this, I like sat down, I did a little bit of revision, like I added a little more or whatever, and then I just went through with the process, and I was like, no, forget it. And I told a homegirl of mine about the book. Big shout out to Kyla Boulware. She works with Hidden Gems Emporium. It's a book store. They're like a traveling bookstore, and they donate lots and lots of books to children and people all over the country. It's like a family that does it, a husband and wife and their 2 children. They have little babies. And I actually got my dog from them. They used to raise in like whatever, take care of dogs. But anyway, I showed her, they did. I showed her my book, we were talking about books, and I showed her my book, and she was like, "Yo, we gotta put this out. It's amazing." Because I wasn't gonna do anything with it. I was just gonna like, I did it. Like for me, it was I did it, and I just wanted it on a shelf somewhere. Like if people got it, if they liked it, they did. I was not trying to put it out there like that at all. And she was like, "Bro, this is amazing. You need to put this out like right now." So yeah, but the connection to the book, so that was like the process of me doing all of that part. But the connection to the book is like I was talking about earlier, is like I just did not have a good relationship with my hair when I was a child. I hated my hair. I didn't want nappy hair. I didn't want coarse hair. I didn't want 4C hair. I didn't want that. And this is just me being all the way transparent. Like, when we're as Black women, right, and Black girls, like I didn't necessarily deal with a complex of complexion because I'm lighter skinned. So I didn't have any type of scenario where I felt weird or odd about my complexion. For me, it was my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have like, I don't know what type of hair we wanted. White girl hair, Spanish girl hair, like curly long hair, like you know what I mean? And whatever that was, is what I thought I wanted. You know what I'm saying? When I was a little girl, because it was like, what is this? And no one ever like took, like I said, I had a babysitter, right? Her name was Tahira. I had a babysitter. Shout out to Tahira always. And she was probably the only person that ever really made me feel good about my hair. Her and an aunt. You know what I'm saying? My mom told me good things about my hair, but she didn't really have patience with my hair. So you know that energy when mama is like, I got this That's not
right. That's not the energy.
Like that with the hair.
Yes, I've been through it.
But listen, if you're a Black woman, you was a little Black girl at one point.
Yes.
You know who you want to do your hair and who you don't. You know what I'm saying? Who you want to comb it out and who you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like you learn that after a while. Like
right.
You know what I'm saying? So the book was me giving all of my beautiful, wonderful memories about my hair. You know what I'm saying? Care as a small child. And really just trying to promote that type of a relationship between women, really. You know what I'm saying? Fathers too. I did add a portion for fathers because they end up doing hair sometime too, right? But it's like this conversation of like, let's make this a normal thing. Let's make this like a simplified thing. Like these are the steps. There's certain things that we have to do because of the type of hair we have. Like I put a portion in the book about putting a bonnet on at night. Like the satin is so slick. You know what I'm saying? Why like this bonnet is so big and weird on my hair or whatever. It makes me like I have a fire's helmet or something like that, or an astronaut's helmet on my head because you have this big bonnet with your afro or your puffs or whatever your hairstyle is. But I wanted it to be in a book for other little girls to see, to be like, oh, so we all Black girls, you know what I mean? Or all girls with this sort of hair, we go through, this is our routine, this is our ritual, you know what I'm saying? And I might feel apprehensive sometimes when I got to get that hair washed and take that style out. It feels like I wish this could stay in. But, you know what I'm saying? I know my auntie, my mom, my cousin, my dad, whoever is going to make this like a fun and enjoyable time that we share together. And I'm happy about my hair. I'm excited about my hair. I want to see what else my hair can do because I have a relationship with it. So that's why it's called Good Hair Day, because, every day is a good hair day. You know what I'm saying? Even if it don't feel like it, you're blessed, right? Like that's the flip side of it. It's like, isn't that interesting that this is coming from a woman that lost her hair? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all to embrace and love and cherish and take care of and teach the babies to love what they have. Like, I'm so glad we've moved away from a time of like, kitty perms and all that stuff. Because that was my generation. We was kitty permed up. Like,
right. Just for me.
Yeah, that's what everybody had. Just for me, and then with the cream of nature. You know what I'm saying? With the cream of nature, right? We all had the same process. Okay, there wasn't no books talking about how much your scalp gonna burn when you the perm in your hair. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sit there anyway.
Girl.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not a book. We didn't
Right.
promote that, but that's what we were doing to ourselves and to our children, our babies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So instead, I wanted to really make something where we cherish our natural hair and talk about how we take care of our natural hair and how we, you know what I'm saying, like
Right.
enjoy and love on that experience as Black women, Black families, so on.
So in your book, you emphasize on how CC explores how to make the best out of every hairstyle and hair
Mm-hmm.
situation. How can parents, caregivers encourage the mindset in young children?
Yeah, kind of what I just said. Like, read this book, talk
Read
about
that book.
this book, take this book, and you know, talk about the process. Talk about like something as simple as understanding why our hair needs more moisture as opposed to like white people's hair or whatever I don't know how far there's if we're 4C, what are they like? Something, I don't know. I don't know anything down that way.
Right. I don't know anything either, girl.
I don't know. But whatever they are, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that is due to like the hair shaft, and that's why it's curly. Our hair goes up. Think about if you put oil in it, ain't gonna go nowhere but to here. It can't be in the hair follicle. Whereas with white people, it's gonna come down because their hair goes down. The hair follicle is slicker and straighter, so they don't need as much oil in their hair. So we have. There's just so much that we can like impart, so much wisdom that we can impart on our children in general. This is just one aspect. You're giving me ideas. Like maybe I should be writing books about other things we should be talking to our kids about early on. Because you know what I'm saying? Seriously, it's very true. Because I feel the same way about sex, but that's a tough story right there. You know what I'm saying? It is, you know? Yeah.
So many people view hair as an important aspect of beauty and identity. How has your experience with alopecia challenged these social norms?
I mean, the face card never declines.
Period.
So, that's really the answer. That's the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? Not like that, but
like that.
Like that in general. Like think about women that we know that have also been bald, like that are celebrities. They're like drop dead, they're beautiful. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It shows like it just shows so much more like confidence in your face card, I feel, when you can rock it like that. You know what I'm saying? If you ever, if you've been bald like that, or shaved very low, it ain't nothing else you could present.
Right.
If that's it. This is all that you coming with. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's all I could really say. So I feel like, the only time it becomes like challenging in terms of societal norms, it becomes when it's like maybe when you're dealing with like men in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like in an intimate type of scenario or way, because I feel like maybe they want you to have hair or like you feel like you should have it, like it's not as sexy or something like that. And that's where that insecurity and all of that type of stuff comes into play. Because again, there's wigs and there's whoever you want to be. No,
I'm every woman. It's all of me, honey.
Just so you know, you don't need nobody else because you have them all right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just think that beauty is beauty. So it takes a brave woman. It takes a brave woman to do it, and when you do, it's another level, I think, of confidence that the societal norms don't even know more, because if you know how that is. I feel like you feel it. You know what I mean? When your face is out there and you're shining, and it's like, oh, you ain't got no hair, and this one is like it's standing up small. It's like it's okay. It's all right. Y'all can have the societal norms. You got
it. Period. Because when I didn't have any hair, I actually felt more confident.
You did, right? That's what I'm saying.
It's like you gotta push it to the side. You gotta style it up. You gotta do this, do that. It's just like so much moving around. And it's like when I didn't have it, like you said, it was just the face. And it was just like, but with some guys, like I've noticed, like I got more compliments eventually because shout out to my mama. I love my mama because I know she watching tonight. But when I first shout out to my friend Jermaine who passed away years ago. I used to try all types of hairstyles. So I had a mohawk, and before he passed away on his deathbed, he was like, "You should just shave it off." And I was like, we'll talk after the show.
Right? I'm like, think about somebody.
Yeah. So he told me to, this was like around 2008 when he passed away, and he was like, just shave your hair off or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. So because I had a mohawk, and I was like, how does hair gonna go back even? So I kept talking to my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna just shave my hair off. She's like, girl, stop playing. And I said, Mom, I'm gonna shave my hair off. She said, you better not do that. So her and my sister was sitting downstairs on the front porch, and I was in her bathroom, and I taped myself, and I said, okay, guys, I'm about to do it. So I started shaving all my hair off, and I was like, oh, I actually look cute. I didn't shave my hair correctly because I didn't know what I was doing. I used my dad clippers and stuff like that. So when I went downstairs, and she was like, no, you didn't. I said, yes. She said, you better go to the barber and let them clean that up or whatever. Mm-hmm. So when I went to the barber, I was like, I need to shape up. I didn't know the terminology. I thought a shape up was just around the edges. And I had a hat on, a little beanie, and when I took it off, they was like, you need more than a shape up. So like after a while, my mom and I would be walking outside together, and people beeping horns, guys looking at me.
Right, like how beautiful, right?
Yeah. So then she's on the phone with her friends, like, we was walking down the street, and all these guys try to talk to Toya. Yep. And after a while, she started to embrace it. So like you said, with your ex, when you started to embrace it,
exactly,
then he started to embrace it. Mm-hmm. But for him, it was too late.
Yeah,
so late at that point. My mom started to embrace it, and that was my normal at that point.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like when I got into my relationship, I started to grow my hair because of how my ex at the time was feeling or whatever. And it was like I was getting outside of my comfort zone to make sure that he was comfortable, because that was somebody I loved at that moment in my life. So yeah, I totally, girl, I get it. Like,
yeah. Well, we're not on here for relationships right now.
Let's to the next school. That'll be another show. Have you experienced any misconceptions or stigmas surrounding alopecia, and have you addressed these issues?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the biggest thing is just, and this may sound really weird, like, okay, I'll say this one first to get it out the way. Like, I feel like people sometimes might say like cancer or something like that, like you have something wrong with you in that respect, and not that, you know what I'm saying? There's one. But outside of that, it kind of gives me Jada vibes, sorry. But like, here's the thing. When you don't choose to be bald, when you have to be bald, it doesn't, like, you still kind of don't want to hear people say, oh, but you look good in it, you could really carry it well. You kind of still don't want to hear that, because you still don't have your hair. Like, you still can't choose to grow your hair. Like, oh, you know what, tomorrow I just want to grow my hair. You can't do that. Like, you have to keep shaving it, or you have to, or just don't grow, or whatever it is. So you don't really want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I said it gives you like Jada vibes, Jada Pinkett Smith vibes, because, you know, Chris Rock didn't know that she has alopecia. So making a joke about it is about her being bald, G.I. Jane or whatever it was he said, was because he saw her as a beautiful woman.
Right.
Assumed she did it by choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why she was taken aback. Right, because it wasn't by choice. It's because she doesn't have a choice. She doesn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I kind of feel about that question.
Like, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is, like, if you know somebody has like alopecia or something like that, and they are bald, like, we could, I'll say, well, I don't know if I'm speaking for the community and when I say this.
Mindful, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, that like, oh, but you look good, but it is like, thank you. You know, you always say thank you because you appreciate the compliment. but it's also like it's like a constellation prize. It's not like the real, like, you know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
I get it. Oh, my bad,
No,
sis.
no, no. It's not. I don't want you to feel bad. I'm just saying it because literally everybody does it. If you
No,
tell,
but this is educating me too. And
yeah,
I thank you for bringing that to the light. That's why I love having you on my show because of how transparent you are.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Like I don't know. Like everybody says it. It's not you. It's not you.
it's the
It's like
norm.
a natural thing that people would say. You know what I'm saying? Like if you tell them, especially if you are attractive with your bald head or whatever it is, and that's why I said it's like a Jada Pinkett Smith thing because
Right.
I just think that people thought, oh, she always wore a short haircut. She just bald. Like that's just what she doing, and she
That
looks
was
great.
choice.
She looks good. She don't look like if she had and it's no disrespect, but if she had like the cancer scarf on, like you know what I mean when I say
Right,
that,
right.
it's
I know what you're
always like
saying.
a specific type of scarf, the way they wear it, like they
Wrap
never
on
do
your
that.
head.
They do, but not even like you know how they wear. I feel like they wear like a bandana or something like
Yeah.
that, even though they're bald. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if she had that type of a look, I feel like, or she had lost her eyebrows. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right, right, right.
She was
That
showing
part.
that she lost her eyebrows at that. Like she was on her Doja Cat now. You know what I'm saying? If she
Mm-hmm.
was like bald like that, didn't have her eyebrows, people would understand then that there's something wrong. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they would. I don't think he would have said it in that way. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
because she's like beautiful and her skin and she popped out and her face is facing it, she got, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's fair game because, you know what I'm saying? Or you look good with it. So
Mm.
type of vibe. It's that. So yeah. And I promise you, I don't know if anybody else in this community feels that way. They may
Right.
not feel like that at all. You know what I'm saying?
But it's
Like
good
I
to
don't,
highlight because there are some people who do and some people who don't, but just being
right, you
mindful
know what I'm
and
saying? I don't
collective.
know. But I feel like that's just the thing. It's literally something that everybody always says, and it's like, okay, yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. I'll take you.
Mm.
You just
We
gotta,
have
yeah.
we have some comments for you, Queen. So it says you should go on tour and make your own
Oh,
books and read them to kids. Well, she does read her books.
thank you.
Look at her history. Go follow her on IG and
Thank
see that she was at the library, book signings, and what have you. Like she's making moves, but that's thank you.
No, I should go around the world though. Thank you.
Yes, right. Uh-huh. And we have another one from the gentleman Contrarian.
Mhm.
Greetings, ladies. First time here. New subby. Thank you. I'm thinking of starting out as young as possible is the best course of action, especially for our community books, and the best way to do that. Yes, like the children are our future.
They are.
And what do you have to say in regards to that, Queen?
Oh, no, it's true, and that's why I love this book, and that's
Mm,
why I'm definitely have a few more children's books in the works. I have some things in my mind already that I want to write about, but they're not like it all has to have a lesson to me. So that's really like what I'm still working out with the other books. Like this one was easy to me because it just came so naturally. So that's why I said like the other ones though are more like they still are something I have to birth regardless.
right,
But yeah, I wanted to make it simple enough that young children can read. You know what I mean? If they've already started with certain words and patterns of words, and outside of that, I think the best thing to always do is to make it rhyme for children. If you can sing a song, if you can make it rhyme, they can memorize it, and then things are sight words. So then they'll be able to remember that, oh, that's this is day, and okay, right? Like they need
right,
that. So that's important. And then I also made it with a few words that are a little bit elevated because that time that you spend with a person, an adult, a family member, a mom,
right,
a dad, a grandma reading books with you, you know what I mean, is important. So that I think that, like I wanted to create this idea of like family,
right,
community, you know what I mean? Skills that children can utilize as well. You know what
right.
I mean? Like it was all of that in one for me. This book, really.
We got contrarian saying whether it be our boys and how to deal with police interaction or street gangs, to the racism we have to deal with regarding hair texture and style. He says, and damage to our hair from products that have harmful chemicals with no regret to the destruction they cause Black hair. He said books for our young children is an excellent conduit to self-educate our people. Great idea. Thank you for caring about our people.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all of that. Because that's, that's what it's always about for me is our people. That's really the only thing that I feel like I've really been like put on this planet to do, is to support our people. And if I can start that with children's books, if I can do that with arts and entertainment in whatever ways, I will. If I can do that with eventually, hopefully, I'm about to give away some money, and I would love I love to give people money, so I want to be able to do that in many ways. Real sidebar, big shout out to Black Cotton Farms in North Carolina. I just recently went down to see meet a 5th generation Black cotton farmer.
Wow.
Because I wanted to understand this idea about industry and manufacturing, and that's where it starts. And I want relationships with Black people in order to create more like economic structure for our people. That's most important. I'm just trying not to say so much about it, but I think it's a really important endeavor for us as Black folks to, yes, not only read, write books, so on and so forth, but get back to the land and figure out how we can, be a part of this billion-dollar industry, which is the farming industry, and the manufacturing industry is, $1 billion worth here as well. So, cotton brings in a lot of money, and we don't want anything to do with it for whatever reason, but it's everything that we have is made out of cotton, literally. Think about what's made out of cotton. And I just feel like that's something that Black people should have damn near 100% ownership of at this point.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, why not? So maybe I'll do the next book.
And listen, guys, we have more questions, but we don't have enough time to answer all of them. But we do have one more question that I would love for you to answer. So I'm going to let you end off by answering this and letting the people know where they can find you and where they can find your book and so on and so forth. So in closing, what final message would you like to share with our listeners about embracing one's uniqueness and finding confidence in oneself?
Yeah, man, you only have this one life and you chose to be here. So my final thoughts about that is to make it count. You know what I'm saying? That's really all it's about. And that has nothing to do with your looks. It has everything to do with your soul and your spirit. So, take care of that the most. That takes a lot of quiet time. And whatever it is that you want to do in your life, it's inspired by God. So if you just follow all of those inspired actions that God tells you to do and shows you each and every day by your guided steps, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. So that's my final thought. But this book right here, Good Hair Day, is my baby and a surprise possession of mine. And I think that you will totally, totally love it. Give it to all the children in your family, because they can definitely use with a little bit of positivity and some time with the family to do things like read, right? So yes, definitely you can go to Amazon and find that. And all you have to do is put in Good Hair Day book. Good Hair Day book. Make sure you put book there. Remember the movie? But Good Hair Day book, and you'll be able to find it. And I'm right there. You can order it. Definitely, if you want to, reach out to me for literally anything, almost. But if you need a DJ, if you need book reading of Good Hair Day, I'm also doing a $1,000 cash prize, $750 for second place, $500 for third place. Independent Artist Showcase on October 1st. That's at Black Box Newark. On Clinton Ave in Newark. Big shout out to John Murray for that. But yeah, I'll be hosting that and giving away some money. We have judges and all of that. So if you're interested, you can definitely hit me up at DJ Sienna Chanel on Instagram. Again, that's at DJ Sienna, like the Toyota, and Chanel, like Coco, if that helps. All right, guys, that's me in a nutshell. Appreciate you.
And that's a wrap for another episode of Whatever You Say podcast. Hope you like what you heard, enjoyed the conversation, and even had your perspective challenged in some kind of way. If you're hungry for more, make sure to tune in every other Wednesday to a brand new episode. And if you like what you've seen and heard, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on that notification button. We appreciate all of your support. It helps other like minded individuals such as yours to find our platform. As always, it's your girl, chiming out. Stay blessed, stay curious, and keep exploring. It's whatever you say, baby.